Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. It's Eric Subihano here at the Sydney University Football Ground for an NPL Women's New South Wales Round 18 clash. Sydney University hosting Bulls FC Academy, and the Bulls in some excellent form heading into this one, unbeaten in their last 11 games and very much in with a chance of taking out this year's premiership. While for Sydney Uni, have a lot of young talent and had some good results this year, but very much the underdogs, but they have shown they can surprise the top teams in the competition. So let's see what's about to happen here in Camperdown. We've got enough time to go through the lineups. So firstly, for Sydney Uni, they make two changes from last week's result, which I believe was a 2-2 draw. Oh, sorry, it was a 2-0 win here against Sydney Olympic. But in goal for Sydney Uni is number 31, Sophia Fante, back in the lineup. Number 2, Charlotte Owen. Number 3, Alice Thompson. Number 4, the captain, Amelia Feeney. Number 6, Charlotte Hogan. Number 7, Talia Capitanelis. Number 16, Talia Sandbrook. Number 18, Ruby Egan-Brown. Number 20, Jenny Hill. Number 32, Xanthe Urich into the lineup for today. And number 33 is Maria Savalias. Sydney Uni are coached by Oz Rowley, while for the Bulls, one change from their win at home last week, 3-1 over the Tigers. But in goal for the Bulls, as Isabella Mossin blows the whistle to start the game, number 1 is Mia Nomoto. Number 5 is the captain on the ball right now, Liz Gray. Number 6, Anna Hogarth-Scott. Number 7 into the lineup for today, Avani Prakash. Number 8, Claudia Valletta. Number 10, Tamira Souza. Number 11, Daniela Naimi. Number 12, Jasmine Melli. Number 14, Patria Phillips. Number 17, Janeo Dos Santos. And number 18 is Gemma Ferris. And as Liz Gray clears, Bulls are coached by Marty Garces. I'll go through the two sets of substitutes later on, but it's been some very fascinating results so far. A pair of interesting games yesterday. 0-0 draw in the Macquarie Park Melee between Spirit FC and Gladesville Ravens. And then late last night at what I presume was an absolutely frigid North Taramara recreation area, as the cross goes out for a goal kick, it was Manly United with a dramatic late victory over their neighbours Northern Tigers by 2-1. And I've checked the progress score. There was an earlier kickoff up in the Hunter Valley today, and it's currently 1-1 in an interesting clash at the bottom of the table between Newcastle Jets and MacArthur Rams. So as Alice Thompson sends... Actually, that ball might have gone out of the ground, so thankfully Alice Thompson has been sharp enough to provide Sophia Fante with a second ball. Let's go through the two sets of subs. Firstly, for Uni, Hannah Callahan is the backup keeper, and the others who you may see later are Sarah Farrow, Maddie Caspers, Poppy Tay, Kiara Bonora, and Jennifer Kokoris. On the bench for Bulls, Lily Taylor is the backup keeper. The others are Ruby Davis, Ashley Henneberry, Grace Johns, Isabella Coca-DeCipio, and Amber Lookmeyer. And I would suggest watch out for Lookmeyer to come on later, who she is last season's Golden Boot and last season's Player of the Year. But got an early stoppage. I think it's for Tamira Souza, the Bulls' number 10, feeling a little bit sore, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. Yeah, but for Sydney Uni, a very good result, and given last week, and given Olympics' recent form, possibly a bit of surprise, but a Jenny Hill double on this very ground 7 days ago, giving them a 2-0 win over Olympic. For the Bulls, they've been very successful, especially at home. As I said, 9 wins and 2 draws in their last 11 games. As we head into this one, they're only 2 points off the league leaders, Mount Druitt Town Rangers, who are in action pretty much as we speak, hosting UNSW. And Manly United, courtesy of their victory last night, 1 point ahead of the Bulls, on 34 points, 1 point behind Mount Druitt, so everything's shaping up nicely as we head to the conclusion of this season. Tamira Souza getting back onto the field now. And then a nice feint there. I think that's Capitanelis on the far side. And the longer ball is broken up by Hogarth-Scott. Now, decent pass. I think that's Naimi on the far side with Janeo Dos Santos making a run into the middle. A little hop, which is awkward for Urich. The header falls to Souza, and then Fante can let the shot. She knows she can watch the shot go wide. I've mentioned other results in this league. Also, a few of the other games, so I might as well and go through the rest. Yes, I can see it must have been a delay kickoff. I can see on my dribble app. The game between Jets and the Rams was originally scheduled for 3 p.m. It was a 3:45 p.m. kickoff, and that was moved. The other games kicking off concurrently to this one. As I said earlier, Mount Druitt hosting the University of New South Wales. The two clubs most recently promoted to this division from League One Women's, by the way. That's at Popondetta Park. Also, another 5 p.m. kickoff. Western Sydney Wanderers hosting RPL Leichhardt at Rudy Hill. And then a 5:30 p.m. kickoff in a game that was moved, I think, due to the condition of Petermore Field. But Sydney Olympic now hosting Illawarra Stingrays at Valentine Sports Park. That's 5:30. Also, possibly a brief early promo of some midweek action, because we got WOSO Wednesday here on Wednesday the 9th of July, a 7:30 p.m. kickoff, Sydney University versus Northern Tigers, and my good friend Melissa Muscat will have the commentary for you on Wednesday. As a game that was delayed due to some very adverse weather, lightning in the area that affected quite a bit of the Football New South Wales scheduling. Souza with the ball. That's a lovely ball for Janeo Dos Santos. And Dos Santos cannot keep it in play. I'm pretty sure, that did indeed go out. While I'm talking about midweek streams, I might as well pump up the game on Thursday, the 10th of July, at Petermore Field. At least we think for now. We hope it's playable, but scheduled for Thursday, 8 p.m. kickoff, Sydney Olympic versus Mount Druitt Town Rangers. As Egan Brown wants the decision, Isabella Mosson not forthcoming. Savalios tried to shield it, and Bulls didn't let it drop. Prakash finds her captain. It was tight when these two teams met back in April. That would have been round 5, I believe. Bulls winning just by the single goal at Northbridge Oval. Isabella Cocodicipio winning it for them with a first half strike. She scored a few goals over the past few years for the Bulls, so she'd be a good option for the Bulls to bring off the bench later as Prakash. Apologies, that was Naimi, I think, with the quick feet, but not quite doing enough, and it is a uni goal kick. Fonte goes short. I think that's Sambrook playing it out to the left. So I believe that would look like that was Capitanellis working it centrally. And Sambrook. And then it might have been Owen with the loose pass. I will flag this. I will do my best. Love the Sydney Uni kit, but white numbers don't exactly contrast with the gold portion of their kit, but I think I will be able to figure these shirt numbers out for you. I've seen Uni fairly recently as well, which does help. And now it's Feeney. Now played forward. Hogarth Scott doesn't get in the way, but Liz Gray does. But now it's Hill for the hosts. And work backwards. Juric. Thompson dropping a little bit deeper. Savalios. And up against 2. She's lost out as well. And I think the first decision that, shall we say, draws some consternation from the home fans. Juric with the throw. And Savalios wouldn't drop for her. Strong tackle from Souza. Now, room for Prakash. 3 of her teammates in front of her. Out wide to Naimi. Naimi tries to get around Owen. Sambrook is round on the cover, and Capitanellis is back as well. But Naimi hasn't given up on it. I think Prakash might have been the target there. Uni standing firm. think that's Ferris. Allowed to advance into uni territory. Now the rebound falls to Prakash. Long range shot, which a little bit of a bobble from Sophia Fante, but no Bulls player anywhere in the vicinity, and so able to pick it up. As Valletta challenges in the air, doesn't get a touch on it. Egan Brown, and now good footwork from Thompson. That's brilliant. Before it is sent into the bottom of the Sydney Uni grandstand. And Urich will have the throw. Actually, I believe Alice Thompson might be playing against her old club. I do believe, if memory serves me correctly, she was with Bulls last year. The touch, Phillips out wide. Naomi, she's plenty of decent runs in the opening 10 minutes on that side of the field. Cross slams into a defender, gets another go, and she's into the box. Can she pick the pass at the back post? Janea Dos Santos. She gets a shot, and gets the shot away, and it's just over. So right on 10 minutes, I think it's the first clear chance of the game. Danielle and Naomi with plenty of energy on the far side of the field, and the cross made its way all the way through to Dos Santos, who flashes a shot over the crossbar. Now, everyone, as we can see, everyone has shifted to the far side, except for Alice Thompson, who is about half the field to herself. Indeed, Alice Thompson on the side nearest the grandstand, wide open, but the ball, as of yet, staying further away from her and from us, as Egan Brown tries to shield it against Gray. And now Valletta's in there as well. Now Hill for Uni. And Hill again will go backwards to Feeney. The two number sixes going there head-to-head there. Hogarth Scott takes it away from Hogan. And the touch does not... off Hill. Another decent tackle from Souza. And Charlotte O decides to just wind up and get it into Bulls territory. A run from Ferris, but she's dispossessed. And I think that's Hill. Carpetanellis threading one through. I think that's Egan Brown, but Liz Gray gets there first. And Liz Gray, who, by the way, Liz Gray, those of you with very long NPL women's New South Wales memories will remember when Liz Gray was at Sydney Uni. And she, in fact, as that will be a free kick for the Bulls. Liz Gray scored, if I recall correctly, for Sydney Uni in the 2015 grand final. And she certainly has been a standout for Bulls in the last few years, going back to when she helped them earn promotion from League One Women's. That was in the 2022 season. Then Valletta wins the free kick. So, attacking set piece for the visitors. Valletta. Well, let's see what it is. The shape does kind of suggest that she's going to go for the long-range effort. There's two in the wall set by Fante. Valletta, she does go for goal. Fante catches. And she wants the quick release. The ball will sneak away from Capitanellis, who was chasing it for Uni. This is Dos Santos, who will get it to Prakash. Good tackle from Thompson, but it's a bit compact for Uni. Thompson has found the pass to Egan Brown. And Egan Brown running against Melly. Good run to the byline. That went out. Who did go out off last? Off Melly last for the first corner of the game. And that's going to the hosts. It's Capitanellis. I think, from memory, the only left footer in the Sydney Uni starting lineup. Coming across to this side for an in-swinger. And there's kind of Uni's tallest players in the 6-yard box as well for her to aim at, as it's up and a little bit of a bobble, but good handling from Miyamoto. And the Bulls fans in the grandstand here like that. Now, so I think Janeo dos Santos, she was looking for Phillips, but instead Sydney Uni get it back. Prakash. I think that's Phillips. And Phillips just moves it back. Gets it back, and Naomi shouting for the ball. She's found more room on the right side. Cross blocked, and that'll be the first Bulls corner of the game. As you would expect, Liz Gray's up from the back. She scored quite a few goals this season, and given her aerial prowess, she's generally good for at least a few goals every season. As the corner is swung in, and it's going to be a free. It was a free attempt at goal. They left Phillips completely unmarked. She's got her foot too far under the ball, and nothing to trouble Sophia Fante. Fante booms it to halfway, header from Gray. Then Sambrook looking to shift it to the left. Carpetanelis. Hogan finds Hill, who is able to turn and face forward, play the nice pass to Thompson. Thompson aims far post, and the header, it flicks off Carpetanelis. That will end up being a goal kick. Nice ball from Thompson, though. A decent move, as one of the Bulls players actually heading to the touchline. Maybe some running repairs required. She was quick enough to sprint over. Maybe it might be something with the kit rather than an injury. Anyway, Bulls will be short-handed for the time being. I'll try and keep an eye on that, but I think it might just be kit related rather than I see, so it's just a bit of visible blood, and so Patria Phillips has had to leave the field. Gray taking the short goal kick. She finds Dos Santos. Valletta's getting forward, but Valletta also prevented from doing anything with that, as she was fouled all the way by Alice Thompson. Prakash wins the throw. I say Phillips continuing to be bandaged up, so this, all things considered, probably going well for the Bulls, because they didn't have the ball for basically the whole time. Phillips was off the field, and there we go, she's back on, so that's been managed well by the visitors, as Souza glides past two players. Now Prakash, past Feeney, and there's options. There's a wide option who is Dos Santos. Phillips is now in the middle. Dos Santos, and then just tried the tricks, but good, patient defending. Didn't need to make the challenge, as Dos Santos has run out of room there. 18th minute here in Campertown. 0-0 between Sydney Uni and Bulls FC Academy. NPL Women's New South Wales action. And Eric Subihano here with the commentary for the Football New South Wales YouTube channel, as Carpetanelis double marked. And Melly strong to not just win the ball, but also win the free kick. Had a bit of time, as it looks like Alice Thompson is headed to the Sydney Uni technical area to get some quick instructions. The Bulls whip in the free kick. They'll Sydney Uni allow it to bounce, but it's Feeney with a good clearance. Now hosts with a chance to build. Feeney again, holding off Phillips. Now Capetanellis gets, that's nice work. And the ball, decent chase, but Gray has the position and goes back to Nomoto. Now Gray. Long, but only finding Feeney. Now that's deeper. It's a thumping header from Claudia Valletta. She really got some force behind that one. Uni again. I think that's possibly Savalias. It is, and she worked it wide to Capetanellis. Savalias continued the run to support, and Ferris is across in time. Into the fence, but an attacking throw-in coming up for Uni. Now that's gone out, and another attacking throw-in for Sydney Uni. Patient play. She knew she was pinned up near the corner flag, but didn't panic, just drew the touch from the Bulls. But that's a bit of a looser one, and a chance maybe to whip one into the box has gone for the hosts for now. Owen chucking it down the line. And that's Ferris for the visitors. Now, it's an interception, and Gray has to be quick. The two Uni players might have taken it off the Bulls captain. Souza as well, but that's good work from Souza. Looking for Naimi, who's quick enough to keep it in play. Naimi wants it on the right foot. Corner kick coming up for Uni. Now, of course, I've got my laptop in front of me, so it might be time to try and find some progress scores. Still 1-1 between the Jets and the Macarthur at Lake Macquarie. That's into the final 10 minutes. It really is a crucial one with those two teams currently occupying the bottom two places in the club championship. I'll try and keep an eye out on that one for you as things progress. Also, it's been a goal at Rudy Hill, so RPL leading by a goal to 0 over the Wanderers. And it's 1-1 at Popondetta Park between Mount Druitt and UNSW. As the short corner routine, Souza playing it backwards. Now Prakash whips it in. Feeney's in there. Prevents the shot, and then her teammates help her. That's cleared over the sideline. To the middle, takes a hop, and Feeney heads it away. Phillips. Hogarth Scott now. Possibly thinking of a shot. She has scored from long range this season, but Uni get enough bodies in the way. Now they've won it back. There's 3 forward for this attack, with more coming if they can get someone to face forward, but it's good work from Phillips to prevent that from happening. Now Souza has a little bit of space centrally. Phillips. Dos Santos. And now Phillips. Hogarth Scott. Uni see the backwards passes as a chance to step up. And, in fact, they've also won the free kick, so possibly Phillips a little bit late with the challenge there. Now, as they aim it down the right, here's Alice Thompson, but that's a lovely tackle from Liz Gray. Clean as a whistle. And then again, Liz Gray taking it off Thompson. Good vision with the pass. Souza, center circle. Souza, oh, she couldn't find Naimi. But then Naimi might have won it back. And a couple of players with her. Feeney's out to press, and Feeney with the toe in there, so that's good defending. Ball goes straight to Fante. So Sydney Uni, who come into this game in 12th, looking to climb the table. Look at who might be the goal threats for them against what is a very strong Bulls defence. Talia Capitanellis, the Uni folk, will be glad that she's come back to wear the blue and gold again after the conclusion of her Western City Wanderers duties. She has just completed her first season in the A-League with the Wanderers. And Capitanellis has scored 5 times this NPL season. And Ruby Egan-Brown has second highest for Uni with 4 goals, and then followed by Jenny Hill, 3 goals, 2 of which came here last week. And Dan Ullman, legendary Football New South Wales photographer, in the perfect place to get some snaps. I admire his work. I admire his multitasking ability. He's holding 2 cameras at once. So there's like the bigger lens to zoom in for the further away action, and he's got something smaller for close-up at work. I haven't seen him do that before, but I'm thoroughly impressed. Anyway, back to the action. Spread wide. Here's Thompson. Hill is running beyond. Thompson looks up and goes into the middle. And the Bulls player's almost getting tangled up there. Egan-Brown trying to sniff out a chance. Instead, that is Thompson. And the wide ball, it's Naimi using her speed defensively there. Couldn't make it stick, but at least has forced the ball backwards. Ball's over Liz Gray, but then Gray takes it away from Egan-Brown. Followed by a nice pass. Naimi looking to make something off it. She will. And I think that was a nutmeg there from Naimi. Low ball. Phillips with a shot, which is blocked possibly by Sambrook. Feeney will play it forward to Hill. But then there's a ball in Prakash's room. Avani Prakash, and then not the power that was needed in that situation to trouble Sophia Fante. And they play it short. Wide, here's Owen. Thompson with the pass that was blocked by Boletta. And Prakash takes a tumble, but Isabella Mossin, Isabella Mossin, the ref for today, happy to let things go on. Capitanellis does eventually get away from Hogarth Scott. Now, yeah, just looking at that, the flag is up from the assistant near side. I believe that's Hannah Sheridan. And Egan-Brown moved a little bit too early. Captain, I was trying to hold it up for the supporting run, I think, from possibly it's Zante Juric. So, Cat, I wrote down formations. I think possibly Uni might have seen something and have actually swapped their fullbacks, because Owen did start on the left side of the back four with Juric on the right, but they appear to have swapped for now, as that's a handball against the Bulls. Now, Uni trying the left side. Capitanellis does keep it in. Whips it in. It's high to the far post. It bounces towards Thompson. Thompson, well, Gray gets there just in time because Egan Brown could have turned and shot from about 8 yards out. And the centre-back run from Liz Gray before a collision there. And that'll be a foul and the first yellow card of the game going to Charlotte Owen. Good to see Liz Gray just picks herself up and is okay to continue. And I think Isabella Mawson just checking that the Bulls captain is okay. Well, that reminds me, listener shout-out times. It's good to hear that good to hear that my friend Dale is tuning in. I thought you'd be tuning in tonight, but we're grateful for your support of the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Valletta. Back to the captain for the Bulls. Nice exchange of passes. So Dos Santos, room down the left and the cross, which is sent away by Sandbrook. Now Gray, they're taking the initiative once again, so showing no ill effects from the earlier collision. And so past the half-hour mark here, Fonte clears. 0-0 between Sydney Uni and Bulls. NPL Women's New South Wales at round 18. Capitanellis, nice work to find Hill. And Hill, and I think that's Egan Brown. Could be a chance. And then that's good defending, I have to say, from Gemma Ferris. Didn't dive in, waited for a moment and took the ball away from Egan Brown. Cross comes in. And Valletta missed it, but that little miss kick might have also taken it away from Thompson, who was trying to sneak in at the back post. Things starting to liven up here. And then, right as I say that, it rolls to Feeney, and Amelia Feeney just calms things down. Valletta. There you go. When in doubt, just chuck it down the line. And the touch off the Uni player possibly might work out for Phillips. Phillips gets past Sandbrook, but not past Ulrich. Now, Bulls looking to attack, and Phillips underhits that pass. So that should be straightforward for Ulrich. And then Ulrich doesn't see many options, so just plays it as far as she can down the line. And then that's, well, Naomi not able to make a telling contribution. And it's a goal kick. Interesting. We're seeing a lot of, well, of course, it's usual these days to see a lot of short goal kicks. These days, I say like the really old person that I am, but anyway, don't mind me. But hey, interesting that, at least for now, teams are letting, when the other team has a goal kick, they're letting them have the first pass basically for free before pressing. Do wonder if that might change as the game situation changes. Dos Santos. Now Ferris, which is going to be way out of reach for any Bulls player. Bulls, they want it back. And Phillips, who was trying to hold it up, was forced backwards, and then Hill stealing in on Sousa's blindside. That's good work. Savalias, and Gray tried to affect the pass, but it's Uni still with it before Valletta cleans it up. Diagonal doesn't work out. Now Capitanellis on halfway. And well, good persistence. gets past two, taking on a couple more plays. Hill's in a pocket of space, and Capitanellis with a sporting run. Instead, it goes to Egan Brown. Here's Egan Brown, safe from Nomoto, and it rolls across the 6-yard box. And after that's going to be an own goal, so Sydney Uni do end up taking the lead. And the persistence pays off. Credit to Capitanellis in the build-up, who took on 4 players in the middle third. That's what opened it up. It was Egan Brown in the end with the initial chance. And then it was the spirit to not give up from Sydney Uni that has led to the opener. So they lead 1-0 against Bulls. Feeney, and I think the target was Egan Brown, but Gray takes over. Now, uncharacteristically heavy touch for Prakash, and then there's a space opening here for Egan Brown, aiming at the far post. Ferris, and those are some incredibly optimistic handball shots. Come on, man, please. Definitely off Ferris's torso. Owens well forward. And then Hogarth Scott. And then it's headed out by Valletta. As Feeney sends it long. Then Gray with a booming header. Brought down well by Dos Santos. Souza. And then Prakash helps it back to Souza. Melly's getting forward from right back. Melly finding herself centrally for the time being. Phillips is able to get on the half turn. Now, Dos Santos. Tricks away into the area. And then that was Sambrook, I think. And then as Uni will not play it out from the back, so Dos Santos. She couldn't cross because the sliding tackle there. Prakash. Back as the Bulls defense. As Phillips again is the target, and that's a nice switch of play to Naimi. Good intervention there from Sambrook. Attacking, throwing for the Bulls. They'll keep it on the far side with Prakash. And Hogarth Scott is able to keep it away from Uni. Melly delivers from deep, and that, well, I think Feeney must have heard the shot from Fante. Left at the last moment, and the keeper takes over. Sambrook, and I think she was looking for the switch. Didn't quite wrap her foot around it enough to bring Capitanellis into the equation. So Nomoto brings it down, and I think, well, she's not even going to bother using the gloves, so played back towards the middle third of the field. And there's the header from Juric. Souza. And Naomi. Nice turn from Phillips. There's options, possibly. Feeney gets in the way. And then Souza looking to keep it alive, as is Phillips. And there's a great tackle. That was Sandbrook just inside the box. Bulls try again with Naomi, and that doesn't have the curl needed to give her teammates something to aim at. Header from Souza off the goal kick. But then Uni and Hill was stopped by Gray. And then Gray, well, she does overran it, but then kept it alive. Finding Dos Santos. And Dos Santos. But now Bulls lose out when he worked into the centre. Now that's Juric. Approach half-time with Uni leading by a goal to nil, and the touch really took the sting out of the cross. So Fante, it's an easy gather for her. But looking at who's been trouble getting their name on the score sheet for Bulls this season, Isabella Coca-DeCipio on the bench today, but leads Bulls with 8 goals in the league. Amber Lookmeyer only come back mid-season as Prakash shoots, and it's wide. Amber Lookmeyer, despite not being able to register with the Bulls until the conclusion of her Sydney FC A-League women duties, Amber Lookmeyer's already scored 6 times this season to be the Bulls' second highest scorer. Liz Gray has hit the 5-goal mark, as has Petria Phillips, and so has Tamira Souza. So there's the players here in the Bulls matchday squad. Trouble Sydney Uni, and it's, well, I mean, obvious. Being captain obvious looking at the scoreboard, but not even a half-done job yet for the students. Feeney looks up and tries the diagonal, which Melly won't be able to reach, so Capitanellis does get there in the end. Nice little rollover as well, and Capitanellis, great run, plays it wide. Here's Juric, scoops it up, and that's a header from Gray. Now Phillips. And Phillips gets it back. Now, nice drop of the shoulder. Then Feeney is in the nice position for Uni. It's over the top for Valletta to chase, and now I was looking. No, she was onside, so Egan-Brandt does cross, but there's no Uni player near that. And Namoto falls on the ball. Now, with interception by Souza. Plenty of options. There's 5 forward in this attack for the Bulls. Souza plays the ball straight at Feeney, and Feeney, excellent tackle, might go on a run as well. So Amelia Feeney almost with the forwards, and then, oh, that's unfortunate for Sydney Uni. Ball stepped up just enough to catch Capitanellis offside, but there was the space there. And how about that from Feeney? We love the centre backs that go on runs. A strong tackle on Souza, turns defence into attack, and the vision was nice, well, but Capitanellis moving just a little bit too early. Phillips finding Prakash. And Prakash back to Phillips, edge of the box. Dos Santos. Phillips again, getting lots of touches. Now I think she was looking for Naomi, but then with a clearance goes sideways instead of forwards. And then I think that was attempted safety first clearance, and Valletta's happy to run it over the, let it run over the sideline. Now Melly looking for Dos Santos. Good ball, and then, well, flag's up. I mean, I think the refs are happy to go on because Uni have the ball. But yeah, that wouldn't have counted anyway if it had gone in. The flag was up from the assistant on the far side. Gray with the header, and then another header from Hogarth Scott. Now Savalius could have been in a little bit of trouble, but she's quick enough to find a teammate. And Melly gets there ahead of Hill, but that has provided the space for Capitanellis, who's got options centrally. One of them is Jenny Hill. Hill gets the shot. That's a good save from Nomoto. Very good save to prevent Uni doubling their lead, and we're in the final stages of the first half here. About to head into a stoppage time, of which, well, I'm not sure how much there'll be. So I think, from memory, in this comp we don't get fourth officials till the finals. Here's Phillips, so I'll be. I think there was not too many stoppages, but there were some. So there's one time. There's definitely enough time for someone to create at least one more chance. As it takes a hop, and Fante has judged it well and gets there ahead of Dos Santos. Fante sends it. Allowed to bounce. And then we'll settle it. Gray skipping past another challenge. And she's gone on a few good runs this evening. Now Naomi, she's quick and just couldn't keep it in play. Now, well, it will be half-time. The mid-game report card looking very good for Sydney University. So they're leading by a goal to nil over Bulls FC Academy. It was an own goal in the end, but I think credit to Talia Capitanellis and Jenny Hill for their roles in the build-up. And those two have had a very good game for the hosts so far. That's Eric Subihano with the commentary from Campertown. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half.
Saved Australian football. Good for you. Good for you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
grossly unsuccessful. No. Who's in the line supposed to wear anything? Walker, Texas. Yes, I know it's a Roy Nation.
I guess you're of that era, and I don't mean like listening, I mean like growing up with like
Welcome back to the second half of our NPL Women's New South Wales coverage for the 2025 season. Halftime here at the Sydney Uni ground. Sydney Uni leading the Bulls by 1-0. Isabella Mawson checks her watch, ready to get the second half underway. And I can report that I have spotted a sub at halftime. And that is Amber Lookmeyer, number 20 for the Bulls. She's on and appears to be on in place. Let's see, I have to check who the player was that was replaced. So I'm not so sure of that one just yet. Possibly Anna Hogarth-Scott is the player who's been withdrawn, but we do know that the big news is that last year's Golden Boot and last year's Player of the Year, Amber Lookmeyer, on the field to try and rescue the situation for the Bulls and prevented from getting a shot in, but then does get the shot in, which is hit straight at Feeney. And now Bulls charging, and there's a shot which is in, and straight out from the break. It's Isabella Cocker-DeCipio, just on as a halftime sub, who has scored her 9th of the season, and it's 1-1 here. They cut inside from the left. His unstoppable shot right into the top corner, and there we go. What a start to the second half. It's Sydney Uni 1, Bulls 1. There you go. Barely had a minute of the second period. Already had a goal. It is a brilliant one as well. That's played up into the air. And of course, we are aware of some weather in the Greater Sydney area. Lightning out west has caused a delay to the start of Olympic versus Stingrays. It's also caused meant that players had to be stopped at Popondetta Park between Mount Druitt and UNSW. And the storm is coming our way, but I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. And Lookmeyer, a player that is really like waiting. And there's goals to be scored. He's on the ball for Bulls. So now I'm thinking the two players withdrawn for Bulls were Avani Prakash and Anna Hogarth-Scott. Reasonably confident that was the double sub. Those two players making way so that Cocker-DeCipio and Lookmeyer could be brought on. But first, Bulls corner. Swung in and then, well, cleared at the first touch. And Cocker-DeCipio wins it back, but is kind of facing away from goal. The second cross comes in. Could be up for grabs here. Off Lookmeyer, then Gray shoots. And it's wide. Also getting information here because there was another game out west. It was 1-1 at half-time at Rudy Hill between the Wanderers and Apia. Apia opened the scoring via Mona Walker. Wanderers equalised through Annika Stajcic, but there's word that match has been abandoned. That's in the same council area. That's in Blacktown Council, just like Olympic v Stingrays and Mount Druitt versus UNSW. So as the cross is whipped in and Namota misses it, and it's in, so Uni are back in front. Capitanella's getting all the credit. And Alice Thompson might have been who got the final touch. But the goals are flying into the start of the second half. It's 2-1 to Sydney Uni. That was a great ball from Capitanella's trademark left-footed cross. And as I watch the replay here, I think we'll give that one to Alice Thompson. because she was there to make the right run between defenders and converting at the far post. Okay, well, actually, the goal graphic was saying that's Ruby Egan-Brown, so I've got my former Manly United players mixed up there. But yes, I'll trust the scoreboard operator. He definitely knows his stuff. There's a flash of lightning in the background, by the way, so that, well, we'll see what happens with this game. But for the moment, Uni leading by 2-1, courtesy of Ruby Egan-Brown. It's starting to rain. You can see as that is run out for a corner to the Bulls. It's starting to rain as well. Okay, so Stan Ullman, the photographer, has the umbrella up. So instead of holding 2 cameras, he's now holding 1 camera and an umbrella. Hope he's staying dry there. Is Dan? Now swung in, it's up, and then good header from Feeney. Carpentinellis trying to find Feeney, was looking to lead the charge. Right, then Gray's in there, and it's Liz Gray. Hill's now doing the defending for Uni. Carpentinellis looks up, wants to switch it. Good ball. But then Dos Santos, well, trying to defend it. There's a short ball. I saw that from here. Yep, that's going to be a free kick. Now Carpentinellis whips it in. Pretty direct. Good header from Gray. And then the play, well, it might have been Ferris actually doing well. Doesn't just block the cross, but prevents the corner as well. Now Souza, and that's a foul. So pressure relieved for Bulls. Actually, as I was going through the YouTube streams at halftime, so there's the late drama at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. So in a big game at the bottom of the club championship, MacArthur Rams have defeated Newcastle Jets by 2-1. I think it was Gabriella Silva with the late winner. Alexis Collins opened the scoring for the Jets, and it was Teo Masensky who equalised. More good commentary from our Maltese friend Ashley Bork up there, and he'd be grateful for good weather up on that, what I'm told is a very wobbly scissor lift at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Dos Santos dropping deep as the Bulls try to play out from the back. Now again, Coco DeCipio finding herself on the right side. Past Owen. Now, Souza. And a bit of a heavy touch from Valletta, but she will retrieve it before a Uni player takes over. Then she slams the pass into Souza, who didn't have enough time to react. That pass was behind Egan-Brown, so Liz Gray takes over. And now, Jasmine Melly, a little bit of room, finds Naimi. Naimi was stopped, I think, by Sambrook. Now, that's a good run. That's a good run from Phillips. And Lookmeyer's in the middle. But Feeney, with the crucial block. Feeney will not prevent the corner. Right. Yes. There's more good work from the Sydney Uni captain that time. Now is the cross, and Lookmeyer is heading it. It's a difficult one, her body weight going away from goal, trying to twist the neck muscles and threaten the Uni goal, as that is an excellent tackle. And now Hill. Hill looking for Capetanellis, but Melly with the toe in there. And here's Lookmeyer. Another good tackle from Hill. There's Amber Lookmeyer, can't miss her with what I call the Viviana Miedema look, short sleeves and gloves. And as someone whose hands get cold before the rest of me, I totally understand how Amber Lookmeyer's sartorial choices. Fante going long. And, let's see. Is Coca DeCipio okay? She's moving, so she'll get up slowly. That's good, because that was a very awkward fall, but she's okay, the Bulls goal scorer. Dos Santos, what a ball. Here's Amber Lookmeyer, and Fante saves. Got the angle spot on. She stood up as long as she can. And this young goalkeeper, the news came through during the week. She's signed her first A-League women's contract with Sydney FC, so she'll join them for 2025-26. And you can see why with saves like that. What a great ball from Janeo Dos Santos. That pass was as delicious as a pastizzi. The left boot to put Lookmeyer clean through on goal, and Fante has denied the Bulls number 20. Now whipped in to the far post and out of reach for, I think it was Coca DeCipio, and then Gemma Ferris coming in around the back. Neither of them could make a play at the ball. And thank you to that photographer who is also holding a camera and an umbrella, who's been ball boy for a little bit, so that Sophia Fante can get us back underway. 57th minute here at Camperdown. Sydney Uni 2, Bulls FC Academy 1. The students took the lead with an own goal in the first half. Bulls equalised via Isabella Cocasipia, who just come on as a substitute in the opening minute of the second half, but a few minutes after that, Ruby Egan-Brown scored to put Uni back in front. As Lookmeyer hooks it over, Feeney to chase, and Naomi making something of it. As is Souza, and Souza denied. What a save from Fante. The little prod towards goal, that was going in. And Fante has scrambled across just in time. And a strong right hand to deny Souza. Cross blocked. Coca DeCipio winds up, but that's not going to trouble Fante. Now, of course, if games have been abandoned, thinking of that half-completed game at Wanderers Football Park between Wanderers and Apia, we'll have to keep an eye on the official channels, whether that be the leagues or the two clubs. And as best in these cases to be like me and just keep checking the dribble app every day to see if there's any midweek games. Because I suspect there'll be a few coming up, in addition to the two we have in the next few days. Now the cross in, and it's Ferris who will get it away from danger. Juric. Now Hogan. And that is Owen. And Owen gives it away to Gray. Gray, nice ball to Coca DeCipio. Let's move back. Jasmine Melly. Now, that's a strong 50-50. Phillips flying in there against Hogan, Allsfair and Love and War. And now Dos Santos spinning around the world, but surrounded by four Uni players in the end as they swarm on the ball. Capetanellis, that will break. That should be for Egan-Brown, who spreads it wide nicely to Owen, overlapping, and then the ball back to Egan-Brown. What are options like in the middle? We won't know. Ferris blocks, corner kick. And that's Uni's third corner of the game. Now, the precipitation here in Camperdown has eased a little bit. Hopefully that's a positive sign for the rest of this game. The breeze is starting to pick up. Thankfully, I brought like several layers with me today, so I'm well looked after. And a couple of, well, I'll call that thought as the corner comes in, aimed at the far post. It's beyond Namoto, it's beyond everyone. Egan Brown chasing. Keeps it in, she's tracked by Valletta and wins another corner. But I see Sydney Uni also preparing a double sub. And I think I see Maddie Caspers, who's getting ready to come on. I also might have seen a 26, which would have been Jennifer Kokoris, but we'll think about this corner first. As actually, okay, well, this is not a good sign, because the assistant has waved the flag, and Isabella Mosson is coming over to discuss things. Yeah, okay, so there's lightning in the area, so we feared this might happen, but the players are going to have to leave the field for safety reasons. And at the 61st minute mark, we have a pause in the action with Sydney Uni leading Bulls by 2-1. So, Nick Hannah Sheridan, one of the assistants, having a chat with Marty Garces as well. But it has been that kind of an evening here in the NPL Women's New South Wales competition. Just one more recap, because we might have to take a break and figure out exactly what's going on. But my recollection of the regulations is that this would be a break, a minimum of half an hour before play can resume. So, just recapping one time before we might have to take a break. Sydney Uni opened the scoring at 34-minute mark. Good work in the build-up from Talia Kapathanellis and Jenny Hill, leading to an own goal. Bulls equalised in the first minute of the second half. A long-range strike from Isabella Coco-DeCipio. But 3 minutes after that, Sydney Uni back in front, courtesy of Ruby Egan Brown and Talia Kapathanellis, again involved in the build-up. Eric Subihano here with the commentary for NPL Women's New South Wales Round 18 from Campertown. We'll take a break. Can't really tell you how long, but hopefully we're back to bring the conclusion of this game between Sydney Uni and Bulls to you. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Viral quick message to Stab. Yes. Game the system to take advantage of another route? Given the situation, this one, I'm more surprised Bulls were the first thing out. Surely they'd be coming late. You're glad that you're here. That's it. I'm glad you're up here. Yes. vegan says hooray for vegan. It's like that meme of Obama giving himself a medal. Isn't vegan great? Yes, vegan. I agree that vegan is great.
You want to say it, so you didn't say it. So you didn't. We have a first time at the hour because match practice as well.
So someone who's got the pre-season promo photos that they're entitled to get, because that Ruby Egan Brown shot was just going to be previously.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no way. Well, why do it yourself? So unlike the car, it's
Whoa.
So just to be clear, we're stuck here with nothing to do with the venue with the license plate. So I'm like, what? Was that was it when, which Simpsons meme I'm thinking of? Well, there's a few of them. Marge, when you know where the Hank Scorpio episode where Marge has nothing to do and she just starts staring at the bottle of red wine. See, that is very me, isn't it? Just like, I had a glass of red wine. The recommended is to have a glass of that, but I just can't drink that much. That is the, I mean, would you like some?
Well, what are you doing?
I'm having, I'm getting something.
You're getting some description. I will. I'm trying to sleep my stomach.
Ay. That sucks. Change this good.
time it's coming across, we're sort of getting in the middle of it now. So, no.
get underway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get any warmer.
It's okay at the moment.
Yeah, if they cannot return by 7:15, if they still alive.
in the chat.
Yeah.
Dale said Eric be furiously figuring out yourself. And then Lockie just said something. Oh, Holly heard us two talk. Okay, well, let me just talk to myself while doing this Manly United GYL update. That'll be funny.
downstairs as to whether it was right.
That was a good question to ask.
Yeah,
that
I
was a
mean,
really good question to ask.
you know why? Well, recent festival football. Because of recent experience.
I was really impressed that you asked that.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Oh, just thanks to the Slithers family. You are really good at turning.
Grass line?
60 minutes and 33 seconds.
Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, Football New South Wales would look unkindly on that if I left in the middle of the game.
7:25.
7:25, yeah. Haha, there's nothing else, Justin. You have to watch me now. and then he'll be like, no, he doesn't. Be
There's
like,
not, there's a futsal game on.
fuck!
What?
Winter Futsal League men's grand final. Which, well, I mean, I have seen futsal called off due to the weather because of a leaky roof at Valentine Sports Bar.
Are you going to South Africa final?
Yeah, granted.
Yeah, my one mission for the year. Actually, I went there already this year.
Yes, oh yeah, it was a good shot. Because Amelia was training. Okay, because Amelia was training.
Yeah, and Hannah and...
Hannah Hunt?
No, Hannah.
Oh, Hannah Callahan?
Yep. And
Davey says hi because of hot mics.
there were a couple.
I say hi back. Hello.
Maddie.
Oh yeah, that mic is really close to us.
Maddie
I
was
know.
also...
Oops. Oh yeah.
Maddie training. I got. There were a couple of you.
Well, that mic's now I know what to do.
Get there for 7 o'clock.
That's somehow easier for me.
Yes.
Yeah,
How is
it's
that
fine.
even?
That's-
No, well, from
Nightmare
work.
for me.
Oh, you're from West.
But it's like, but it's still, I reckon it's still easier for me than him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
By the way, that mic's hot. I just want to say that SD Raiders got lucky last week. Go
Hey,
Hills!
boss. I packed up and I don't mind unpacking again
Oh, it's good for me.
because it saves coming back during the week
Yeah,
again.
absolutely.
Again, because we're coming back on Wednesday.
Wednesday, that's it. Yeah. This week, one of the post events is for you. So I guess if there's any midweek ones, this would be the
Yeah.
yeah.
Because North Taramara for 6:30, 7 o'clock is also super painful.
Yeah.
Because it's like through the city, Pacific Highway, etc., etc.
Not ideal.
Yeah. The Football New South Wales once upon helicopters. Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to our NPL Women's New South Wales coverage. The rain's coming. Breeze has picked up as well, but thankfully the lightning's passed. We're ready to go again with Sydney Uni leading Bulls by 2-1 and about to take this corner kick. The teams have warmed up, and in it goes. Namoto's up and doesn't catch it. It could be up for grabs here. Always tough. Namoto does eventually grab onto the ball, but yes, I think it's a bit of a tricky situation, but that's the way it has to be. You restart with wherever the ball was, and the play was stopped. And just unfortunate for Bulls that happened to be a defensive corner, but they have survived. It's Eric Subihano here with the commentary from the Sydney Uni football ground. For those of you that might be perhaps tuning in after other games, watching other games which were unfortunately called off, can give you a quick recap of the action so far. So Sydney Uni took the lead on about the 34-minute mark with an own goal, but credit to Talia Capetanellis and Jenny Hill for their work in the build-up. In the opening minute of the second half, Isabella Coco-DeCipio, who had just come on as a sub, scored a spectacular equaliser from about 25 yards out, but about 3 minutes after that, Uni were back in front. Capetanellis again involved in the build-up, and we think the finish, I'm pretty sure the finish was from Ruby Egan-Brown to put Uni 2-1 up. That's how we got to where we are, and we're grateful to be calling the action. Thankfully, this game does not have to be completed at a later date. We know how awkward that would be for all involved, but yes, the wind has certainly picked up. And it's Fante getting things underway. Now, of course, it is possible for there, as that will be a Bulls free kick. Might as well double check the shirt numbers, because it is possible that a sub was made during the stoppage, and it was actually worked out that the wind, well, the rain is falling enough for us to tell where the wind is going, so it looks like Uni are playing into the wind while defending this 2-1 lead. Let's see if the Bulls can use the wind to their advantage, if it holds. I'm so told that clock on the scoreboard, hope the graphic is okay. We trust that it is, but firstly Capetanellis to the edge of the box. Tight angle, good save from Namoto, and it doesn't roll out. Has to be played out by the Bulls. Here's Hill. Chance in the box, possibly. I think that's Thompson, who was denied by a good tackle from Valletta. And then the Bulls survive, but Uni really have come out for this unexpected restart with some renewed impetus and perhaps looking to extend their lead. Now, I'm thankful to long-time Football New South Wales reporter Justin Davies, I think into their 12th season as part of our team. That's quite an achievement, but there were some League One women's updates from the women's second tier, as there is another lightning flash, but let's hope there's not too many more. And the ball through. Naimi plays it into the middle, was unselfish. Perhaps she could have gone herself. Fante's got to get up quickly after diving, because the ball might come back in. It does, and it's cleared again. Jasmine Melly back to Dos Santos. And then I think that's Owen who plays it off Melly. It will be a goal kick. But yes, thank you, Justin, for these League One women's updates. So we have St. George FC defeating Blacktown City by 7-1. We also have Central Coast Mariners defeating Inter Lions by 2-0. I think perhaps predictably the weather obviously hasn't affected League One women's as well. So I think there's going to be a few abandoned games in the second tier as well as the top tier. Perhaps given the conditions, Fante going away from the approach that Sydney Uni used for a lot of the first half, playing short out from the back. And there she goes long, aimed at Capetanellis. And it's Souza, back to Gray. Gray trying to take on more defenders. We saw that a lot before the stoppage. This time she loses out, and that's a clever run from Maddie Caspers. She has come on and ghosted into a nice pocket of space here. Caspers, and that's won by Gray. So there we go. Gray has the pass intercepted, I think, by Owen. She's going to run. So it's getting very stretched after the restart. Owen will continue, but the pressure's under. In fact, well, no. So I think we're about 65 minutes, but we tried to restart, but there's been more lightning stoppage. So this is yeah, it's one of those days when the weather's affecting things, but Isabel Mossin is unhappy. This is unhappy, and, well, You could hear Isabel Mossin with the, shall we say, clear verbal communication. We've got to stop this for another half an hour because of that lightning. So we're back on for a brief moment. Score is still 2-1 between Sydney Uni and Bulls, but we are going to have to stop play for at least another 30 minutes, and possibly we might not be able to finish this game this evening. So I did prepare for this. I might as well, before I sign off, before I have to go off for another break, promotion of streams coming up on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. So there's a couple of midweek games. Wednesday, 9th of July, here at Camperdown, weather permitting, of course. That's the asterisk that applies to everything. But yeah, Wednesday, 9th of July, 7:30 p.m, Sydney University hosting Northern Tigers here at Camperdown. Then Thursday, 10th of July, Sydney Olympic hosting Mount Druitt Town Rangers at Petermore Field. That one is an 8 p.m. kickoff. Now, of interest to the Bulls and Sydney Uni fans watching, then they're both playing next weekend, Sunday, 13th of July. Bulls hosting Spirit at Northbridge. That's a 2:40 p.m. kickoff, Sunday, 13th of July. On the same day, Sydney Uni away to RPA Leichhardt in the fixture I like to call the Tory Toomer Trophy. But RPA versus Sydney Uni, 5:15 p.m. kickoff, Sunday, 13th. And there's 5 other NPL women's games for you there on the 13th. And I might as well promote the Sapphire Cup final for the greatest cup competition in the world. It is Wednesday, 17th of July. And I believe I should just double check that. I believe it's a 7 p.m. kickoff at Valentine Sports Park. And that one is between RPA Leichhardt and Northern Tigers. But I've got to take a break again. Apologies for the uncertainty, but it can't be factors out of our control. Sydney Uni currently leading Bulls by 2-1. And fingers crossed that we can see you back here again for the conclusion of this NPL New South Wales Women's Round 18 clash. See you soon.
Oops. How did I do that? I must have been thinking about my QAL. I mean, the Northern Tigers will be like, this. People are familiar with culture like this. Just like put it on fucking dribble. I was trying to. It's not on dribble. Can I send my votes? No. Believe me, I have an agenda for last week. No, I'm not. Yes, they should be. That's actually not.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that much the worse.
Yep. If it's where it's taking months, maybe they'll cut it out.
Or if I stutter while mispronouncing another word that you might use when people play for their national team. That's how Tony Tanu's pronounced Watford constantly. I was like, did no one ever talk to him about this? Hi, Justin.
So.